Welcome to the Other Mike and Mike show where shoulder dipping is mandatory.
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips. The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips.
Listen to me, Mike. Your self-esteem is low right now.
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips.
Do you know how stupid that sounds?
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You know what day it is. It's recovery day for me.
Yeah, it's a Sunday today, too.
Yeah, and it's not recovery day because of the gym either.
Ugh.
My God.
I know I'm actually coming out of my chocolate comatose a little bit, but I can only imagine how you're feeling.
I think I'd rather be in a Hershey's milk chocolate comatose right now than a Pepto-Bismol comatose.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
So how was it? You went to the Hershey World yesterday?
Yeah. My wife and I just decided it's supposed to be a nice day.
Gorgeous day, right?
So, yeah, it was awesome. And we just woke up and kind of decided, like, hey, man, you want to go down to Hershey today? And we drove down to Hershey, the whole Hershey Center or whatever that's down there. And
you went to the chocolate world.
Yeah, we did the tours, and we did, like, the tasting class, and then we made our own custom Hershey bars. It was
Hershey's milk chocolate.
It was pretty cool, man. I had a good time.
You got those singing cows?
Yeah, it was amazing.
I love that, man. I love the chocolate world. It's awesome.
It was great, and yeah, it was really fun, man. Like, it was busy, but it wasn't at the same time. Like the lines were pretty quick.
Right.
I think it's because it's so early in the year. It's only, it's only April.
Yeah.
So, but no, we got right in, got right out. We were there for about 3-4 hours, and stopped on, on our way home, had some steaks, some beers, and then came home and watched the fights. It was a great day.
Hershey's milk chocolate.
Now we have a fridge full of chocolate because it's so cheap.
It's amazing
that we were buying all this weird, like specialty name brand chocolate you can't really find, and just filling our basket up with shit, and it was great. Now I'll have chocolate for the next 3 months.
Yeah, diabetes, and it's all good.
Yep, amazing.
I would like to go there dressed as like Willy Wonka.
It would be great,
right? Freaking awesome. Going on the ride and be like taking notes.
Yep.
Bunch of Oompa Loompas with you.
Like handing out gobstoppers to everybody.
Where's the golden ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that store, too. That store, when you come out, when you do that tour.
Yeah.
When they have every bar you could possibly think of.
Ever think of. And things that I didn't even know that still existed they had.
Whatchamacallits.
Zagnuts.
Love it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's a fat man's nirvana.
It really was, man. Like, dude, I'm like, I haven't seen a Zagnut since Beetlejuice.
I think the last time I was in one of the aisles there, I busted a Zagnut. I was fapping so hard over, like, whatchamacallits and just, like, 17 different kinds of Reese's.
Right, it was great. It's great.
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, it was. It was a good day away, to get the hell out of the house. I didn't want to sit around all day.
No, that one is so nice. And we had Chuck E. Cheese flew in from Dallas, and we all went to UFC Fight Night. And obviously that's why I'm hurting today. So,
which I'm sure was amazing, though.
Yeah, it's always a good time when the whole gang gets together.
Yeah. Like I said off the air when we were talking, I got to get to one, and it's
you got to get to the fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how long that I was involved with that business.
And you don't go to the UFC fights?
That I never made it to a UFC. Yeah.
I was saying, I went to 2 in 4 weeks.
Yeah. I don't know if it was just the timing or what it was. Like, it's not the money or anything like that. It's just a lot of times it's been timing. I haven't been able to get down there or to wherever it was. So hopefully they come, within maybe a 5, 6, 7 hour driving distance soon. Because I would drive 5 hours to go see one.
Fair enough.
Next time. So we'll see.
This one was right in my backyard, so it was a piece of cake.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it really is only about 2 hours from me, so I could have easily have made it down, no problem.
Yeah, you should have come down.
Yeah, next one.
Fail.
So like 2019.
Yeah, when they fight here again.
Yeah.
What else is going on, man? It's going to be a short show because I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here sweating like Paula Dean at the Apollo, for fuck's sakes. I gotta get air conditioners in this place. The AC's coming on Wednesday.
Yeah, man, the hangover sweats are terrible. You actually can't even get up to take a piss sometimes without getting out of breath, and
Agreed.
little sweat starts beading on your forehead, and you feel like you're gonna pass out.
It's not even that. It's just like, and blowing water. Just like, just peeing out the back door, man. It's a fucking disaster. I'm waiting for the bill in the mail from the Hilton for a new bed.
All liquid and no food, man. That's what happens.
You see, we both had our own little chocolate world yesterday.
Yeah, but mine was much better.
That depends. If you were in Germany, they might like mine better. But that was good, man. So we want to throw some kind of show together because we're terrible with something happens on a weekend. When we're doing something, we don't put a show out.
Right, yeah, no. And for the past, month or so, it's been
crazy.
It's been rough. Like, I did it, too. I'm guilty of it. And, from here on out, or at least to the best of our ability, man, I really want to hammer out the show as much as possible because, like I said, when we released, we were on a 2-week hiatus. We released this most recent show. And in the first, 12 hours of it being released, we had a ton of downloads and a ton of shares.
Yeah, it was good.
Like right off the bat, and it's like, oh.
And it was a shitty show because I was a mess because of the kidney stone.
Right.
And I'm still a mess. Although I passed the stone.
Yeah, which is great.
Fired that out like a musket ball. It's a penis musket. Didn't even feel it, dude. Didn't even know what happened. It was like it had like planets around it, moons. Like the planet came out, and then like all these moons came around it. It was almost like if you were a gold miner. And you're just pulling up the sand, like, there it is.
Right.
There's that son of a bitch that was killing me. And it was crazy. As we were talking about it last night, and a pal of mine, and a pal of our pal George, Chris Blasi, and he said that 2 weeks ago he wound up in the ER with a kidney stone. And he was like, it was the worst pain I ever had in my life. And him and I were sitting there talking about it. I was just like, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, see, what sucks about those, too, is that, you just got to wait. You just got to wait until it makes its way down.
Or if it's too big, they got to go up the beam and zap it with a laser.
Oh man!
And then then you just fire, or the sound. But I'm a big guy. They said the sound might not work. Sound is iffy. They said the best way is to laser it through the penis.
Right. And
just the thought of just that sentence alone.
The laser through the penis.
Is not interested.
No, that's something like, all right, man, just give me some Vicodins and I'll just wait it out.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
and next time I'm going to have to pass on the oxy because I think the oxy did me dirty.
Well, you get constipated.
What? It was like I could have made a house when that broke.
Yeah,
it was like a week. And you get
it's really bad.
Oh man, you get all that discomfort in the chest, the gas. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, opiates are bad, man. Like, I can remember, like when I was going through my gallbladder stuff and they kept giving me pills, to kill the pain until they could figure out what, this is before they figured out what was going on. You can't go to the bathroom, man. Like I was just.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I was barely eating anything because I didn't want to fill up anymore. So like I was eating like Italian ice and little bowls of Special K, and but they had I was popping these fucking pills like jujubes and like Mike and Ike's and shit, and it was just, and I know that feeling, I
love the fact that I was on the same page. Like you don't want to put a damn thing in your system because it's going to cause you like a gastro problem,
right?
Either gas pain or chest pain. That's what it was.
Right.
Like I couldn't function. I'm pacing, trying to move stuff around. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Next time I'll just remember that song by Peaches. I was just sitting here looking at something and this popped on my feed. Fuck the pain away. You remember that, right?
I don't know.
How do you not remember that? You know Peaches, right?
I don't know.
Let's see how this. You don't remember this? This is what I'm gonna do next time. Just fuck the pain away. I'm gonna Google her and get her bio.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time like Blondie. Check out my Chrissy behind, it's fine all of the time, like sex on the beaches. What else is in the teachers of peaches? Huh, what?
That's amazing.
You don't remember that, huh?
No, I don't. But it's awesome. I wish I would remember. Wish I would have.
Yeah, you got to look her up. She was a wackadoo, if I remember right. I'll have to ask D. Peaches. Yeah, I had a bunch of friends that like really liked her, and I always thought it because of the nonsense. But
Pain away, fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away.
I mean, that's going to be me next time I have a kidney stone when the doc says, "Listen, you want some morphine? You want some oxy?" I'm going to be like, "Nope. All I want to do is
fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away."
I mean, to me."
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that works.
Can you write a script for that, Doc?
Fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away.
Like I can get like a waiver from my HR department because I can go back to work, but my treatment, my treatment and recovery.
Fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away.
It's all part of the deal, brother.
Amazing. Beat any OxyContin that you can give me.
I would agree. Although the first 2 days,
You needed it.
It's not even that. I would not have been able to.
Fuck the pain away, fuck the pain away.
I mean, that wasn't happening.
Right.
It's just not happening.
It's awesome.
The funny thing is it's still like gagging like a guppy out of water.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like there's not enough oomph, like if not the thing itself, just like the eruption.
Right. It takes a little bit to get out of your system.
I don't know.
Especially when you were eating them by the handful.
Oh yeah, like Tic Tacs.
Right.
Like Tic Tacs, but for sure.
It still hurts. It's just
Yeah, you don't feel your hands, you don't feel your feet. I should have just.
Away. Fuck the pain away.
That's what I should have done.
Fuck the pain away.
That's it. Next time, that's what we do.
Yeah, man, and that's how people get hooked too. You know what I mean? Like they don't even realize it. That pain keeps coming back, and they keep eating them, and the next thing you know, the pain goes away, and they stop eating them, and they get sick. It's like fuck, and then they got to keep eating them to prevent themselves from getting sick.
Yep.
That's how it happens, just like that.
Terrible
A kidney
cycle.
stone can lead to you being a heroin addict.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Yep, and eat some laxative as you're eating OxyContins.
Jesus.
Yep.
All right, so let's move along. There's only one thing I really want to talk about. Then we have two or three news stories we're going to call today. But let's discuss. You and I have discussed this offline. The $15 an hour.
It's
minimum
crazy,
wage.
in my opinion.
Now you see the arguments for both sides.
I do, and I feel their pain, right? I can't make a decent living because I'm not making enough money to survive. But on the other hand, you're flipping burgers at McDonald's.
Right.
So do you really deserve $15 an hour? And, I see a lot of people more left wing than right wing, crazy left wingers and liberals. They're like, oh, you boost the minimum wage or you give these people $15 an hour. It's going to raise the economy. People are going to spend more money. Like, there's no statistical facts backing that up.
Right.
And there's also no statistical facts saying the opposite. But common economic sense says that if I own mom and pop shop A, I'm paying people $10 an hour to do the work for my product. Now, suddenly, and my payroll accounts for 20% of my income as a company. Let's just say 20%. That's high, but let's just say 20%. Now, all of a sudden, I have to give all of my employees $15 an hour. So overnight, my payroll goes from 20% to 35%. Well, that extra 15% is only going to come out of profits. It can't come out of other parts. It can't come out of manufacturing money. It can't come out of, the rent money. It can't come out of anything else besides your profit. And being a business owner, I don't know anybody that wants to lessen their profit margins.
No, of course not.
So there's only two ways to get your profit margin back to where you need it.
Well,
That's A, increase the cost of your product.
Right.
Or B,
cut staff.
Cut staff. I mean, that's just economic sense to me. I mean, do you really think, if McDonald's, do you realize how many McDonald's there are nationwide? A lot. Like, I don't know the number, but there's a lot. There's thousands of McDonald's in America. Right. So if the company of McDonald's suddenly has to raise their minimum pay to $15 an hour, that extra money is coming out of their profit margin. There's no doubt about it.
For sure.
And, you get these people that argue, price points of products are determined based upon competitors and their manufacturing cost. Well, that may be somewhat correct, right? Like, we pay X amount to have it made, so we can sell it for X amount and make this much profit. But back to what I said, you raise if their payroll costs increase by 2 times or 3 times, McDonald's isn't going to want to take a cut in profit. They're either going to lay off staff or they're going to raise the cost of a Big Mac.
Which probably they would not raise the cost. Their business niche is shitty food at a cheap price. So
correct.
They're going to take the guys that are studs. If there's a 45-year-old father of 4 that's the only job that he could find is there, and that's what he's only qualified to do. Say, I'm not trying to be a dick, but he's down on his luck. He's got a job there, or whatever it is. But that guy works his ass off compared to the teenage kid. Well, they're keeping, John Doe, and they're not hiring the teenage kid. They're the guys. They're going to hire. They're going to keep John Doe and give him 3-4 times the workload at $15 an hour because they know that guy will do it. Because you have guys out there and girls that will give 100% every shift, no matter what they're doing.
Right.
And those are the people that are going to, even if in my line of work. If we had to raise our level that we pay to a certain number, of course we're going to cut staff. And they would say, and I could tell you, yeah, we're keeping these 6 guys. The rest got to go.
Right.
No, and that's it. As a business decision, I'm not thinking twice about it. I'm not losing sleep. Just like it is what it is. If we have to change our hours, we do. But I need these people because they're the best workers.
Right.
And I'm going to ask them to do more. And listen, you want your job, you got to do it.
Right. And then, it comes to the point to where, well, they're going to want more money because now they're doing more work. So now you're back to another standstill because now 12 months from now, they're going to want $20 an hour because now they're doing Jimmy and Sally's job on top of their own job because they had to let Jimmy and Sally go because Mikey wanted $15 an hour. So there's just...
the other solution is you can outsource every position.
Yeah, it's a fucking headache.
Company. You just go to an outsourcing agency and you let them deal with it.
Right. You just hire an outsourcing people to do the hiring and firing for Mickey D's.
You just be like, listen, we don't manage them. You do. You manage the people.
Right.
And we use the Mike and Mike's agency, and we have to make sure they have the right people there and a manager and everything else. And we're only going to charge you X amount of dollars per year. So we're going to charge you $2 million, and you'll always have it staffed properly. And then it's on us, and the onus is on us to make sure they're staffed.
Right. Or like that article on what is it? ifuckinglovescience.com. I think it's iflscience.com, where it talked about the robot that works the fast food chains will be available in 2017 for people to purchase. That's what's going to happen. These people keep wanting raises. These companies are going to fork out the money, the one-time fee.
Yeah, of course. Look at CVS.
Of these robots.
You have been to a CVS lately?
No, I haven't. I go to Walgreens.
Right, we have a ton of CVS here, and there's like the one that I go to has 8. You check out your own shit,
Right.
and they have like 2 guys working there. If there's a problem, they come over, swipe a card, and make sure it works again.
Right.
But you check yourself out.
Yep. Yeah. The grocery stores in my town have that. Walmart here has that. I was actually at Red Robin about a month ago, and now you can actually check out right at your table. Like when you're done eating, you're good to go. You just got to swipe your card right there. You don't even have to wait for the waitress.
Yeah, it was like that. I went to a Friendly's, and it was like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be soon enough to where you just go up and get your own food.
I'm okay with that.
Or it just comes down a conveyor belt like they do in some of these Japanese sushi places. It's just a conveyor belt of different items, and you just pick what you want. And
So what do you say to the people that? I mean, do you tell them, listen, too bad? That's what, to me, go get an education. I don't know. I mean, $15 an hour minimum wage is just outrageous.
Wait, it's crazy. Look, it's. People kind of call me a dickhead for saying, like, this is just my personal feeling, right? And people are allowed to feel however they want. They can say however they want, but this is the way that I look at it. A guy commented on a Facebook thing and a post, and he like kind of said it right. He's like, I get paid $11 an hour to run into that building if it's burning.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But you want $15 an hour to flip the fucking burger? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, there's nurses and firefighters and teachers. They make less money than these people. Or they would be making less money. They make less than $15 an hour.
Now, I will tell you, though, to me, it's a business choice.
Right.
Because then, the $15 an hour, all of a sudden, no kid's getting a job.
No.
It's going to be so hard to get a job. But there are companies out there, and I was having this conversation yesterday, like In-N-Out Burger, who will pay more money for their staff.
Right.
They'll pay, $12 to start, $15 in 3 months they don't call them kitchen people, they call them the chefs.
Right.
But you're going to get a much higher quality product.
And a much higher quality employee.
Yeah, those people bust their ass to do it. Now, to me, they made a decision. That's what they want to do. I mean, it's a business decision. When you start forcing businesses to spend money, and listen, they have to have a minimum wage. We know that. We don't want people saying you'll come in for $2 an hour, but there has to be a fine line between what is a forcible amount of money to sustain yourself on, and even that, a minimum wage job is not going to. What's it going to get you per year? $17,500?
Yeah. 20 maybe in some areas, like certain states have raised it. But I mean, get an education or go somewhere else and get a job. Like, you're choosing to, the way that I was raised, right? A minimum wage job was this. It was to save money for college. It was for high school kids to work during the summer to make a little bit of extra money.
Yep.
It's for college students to make a little bit of extra money while they're at school because college is so expensive. Or if you happen to lose your job for any reason, or you get fired, or you get laid off, or anything,
It keeps money coming in.
It's to keep you afloat until you can move on to something better. The last time I checked, and granted, this is all opinion based, it's just the way that I was brought up. The last time I checked, the minimum wage job is most certainly not a career. Packing McDonald's bags with burgers and this and that, and it's not a career, man. If you're a manager of a McDonald's or maybe a franchise owner of McDonald's, sure, whatever. If you're a franchise owner, you probably do somewhat well. I bet you make $100,000 a year, maybe 75 to $100,000 a year if you're a franchise owner, possibly. I don't know how much they make, but that's a career. Taking my order is not a career for the rest of your life.
Right.
I've been going to McDonald's for a lot of years, and I'm sure as of I'm sure you've been to a ton of McDonald's as well. And the majority of the McDonald's that I have been in.
Why you gotta say that, Mike?
What?
Just because I'm a man of size, you gotta throw it out there.
I would say that if somebody weighed 100 pounds or 200 pounds, especially at our age, we've been to fucking some McDonald's. I don't know. Well, maybe it's just me.
No, of course. Go ahead.
So, anyways, I've been to a ton of McDonald's. And I would say probably 7 times out of 10, 70% of the time, the service was awful. The people don't give a shit that you're there. They're just doing their own thing. Half of the time, my orders are normally fucked up. I get plain cheeseburgers when I go there. I haven't really been there in a while. Actually, we ate there yesterday, so that's a lie. But prior to yesterday, I just got a quick burger to fill our stomachs for the drive down. I get a plain cheeseburger. 40 to 50% of the time, you don't know how many times I bit into my burger and there was pickles and ketchup and everything else on it. You know, it's...
Well, isn't that what it comes with?
Well, yeah, I order plain, though. Give me a plain cheeseburger.
They're still going to have the onions and the pickle on it.
No, plain, man. Just meat and cheese.
But that's not how a plain cheeseburger comes at McDonald's.
That is. You got to ask for a plain cheeseburger. That's
you got to tell them no pickles, no onions.
No. When you just say a cheeseburger, everything already comes on it because that's automatic. When you say plain cheeseburger...
You're going to have every dodo head that works at McDonald's going to think plain cheeseburger is just a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, you have to tell them no pickles, no onions.
If I have to tell somebody what a plain cheeseburger is, they sure as shit do not deserve $15 an hour.
Thank you. That's where I was getting at.
You know what I
but
mean?
It's true. You have to. Trust me.
You know, and I also think like another portion of me, the reason why that I'm so against it, right, is like I kind of base it off of like where I came from. You know, parents were poor. I was raised poor. I didn't have any money. My parents couldn't afford school, so instead of going to work a minimum wage job, I joined the fucking military. I was in for 6 years. I got an education. I got out. I finished my education. Had a pretty good job, had bad jobs, had a good job, had a bad job. You know, like I've been up and down in my entire life, you know. It wasn't until, you know, I'll be 36 this year. It wasn't until I was like 29, 30. It wasn't until recently, you know, that I could make a living for myself. It took me a lot of years and a lot of hard work and a lot of rough roads. You know, I've been in some really bad situations. So, like, I don't feel for these people. You know, I don't feel bad for them. Because if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
Right.
You know, I really do. Because I've been in some really shitty spots. You know, that might be another show or maybe I'll write a book.
For sure.
But, you know, I've been in some really bad spots in my life, man. And I turned out okay. I just worked my ass off. And I grinded and I clawed and I scratched and I didn't give up because I wanted more for myself. And these people that want $15 an hour, to me, that tells me they don't want more for themselves. They want to stay in McDonald's for the rest of their fucking life.
Right. Or any of that. It's not even it could be. What about like going, like we were at the Hampton Inn? You're not going to pay the person $15 to clean the rooms.
Right.
You know, they work on tips a lot. When all of a sudden you do that, you're going to have less hotels. You know what I mean? Or any of those type of jobs that are an entry-level minimum wage paying job. Doesn't just be McDonald's. We're picking on McDonald's. But I'm just... And by the way, you know, when I was walking home when they were doing the... I told you this, right?
No.
Times Square. There's a billion people with this, like, big deflatable... Big Ronald McDonald beating the shit out of it. And I couldn't get through them all. And I ran into this crowd and knocked this one person over, and I didn't mean to do it. Regardless, I was talking about this on one of the Facebook pages, and somebody said, of course you didn't mean it. But I really didn't. I didn't mean to knock the knucklehead chanting for $15 an hour over. And they started yelling at me, and I started yelling back, and I was ready to go. And there was 4 cops, and the cop stepped in. They was like, let's go, moving along, big guy. I said, you can't get the fire hoses out and blast these fucking underachievers? And the cop looks at me deadpan and says, nope, we're not allowed to choke them either. I was like, that was amazing. That made my night.
That's amazing. With that statement, sir, I'll move along. You know,
yeah, with that, good day, sir. I tip my hat to you.
Right. I mean, come on, like, fucking military. You're 19, 20 years old. You don't know what to do. You don't have any money. You're making shit money at McDonald's. The reason why that we are talking about McDonald's is because of all the protests. So that's why it's just kind of in my face, right? And join the military. Join any one of the branches. You get a free education. You get 3 hots and a cot for free. You get to see the world. You get some quality skills. You get some life skills. You learn respect. And you can get out and get an education and get a job. I'm not saying you're going to start off at $75,000 a year, but you may get your $15 per hour, 15, 16, 17, up to $20 an hour, and actually have something that you can move up the ladder at.
Right.
Versus you're going to be a fry cook for the rest of your life. And say you get your $15 per hour. Okay, well, a year from now, you're going to want $20 a fucking hour. Like, it's never going to stop. You know, they're always going to want more. And when that cop, you know, I don't know. And to me, that it's unacceptable. I don't think that they should have it. Now, do I think the minimum wage should raise from $7.25 an hour? I think that's what it is in the state of Pennsylvania. $7.25. Maybe up a little higher. Not much. Like $1. You know, give them $8.25. Give them $8.50. But certainly not 15. These states like Oregon that just raised, or Seattle that raised their federal minimum wage to like fucking $15 or $16 an hour, it's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I agree, but
it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it drives me nuts. It drives me more crazy that I got to walk through all the fucking people yelling when they got 3 teeth amongst them, and it's just
right.
Give me a break.
Right, like these people that are protesting, like you look at some of them and the way that they talk, and it's just, motherfucker, you can't even pronounce words properly, and you want $15 an hour?
Right.
I don't think you pronounced one consonant in your 65 sentences. It's all vowels. It sounds like you're speaking in vowels.
No, I agree. And it was funny what you said about until you were like 30, because when I was 30 years old, we were a disaster.
Right.
I mean, I didn't have kids yet. I was trying to be a musician. That was a disaster. I had no money. I was bouncing fucking rent checks. I mean, we couldn't go on vacation. And I see a lot of I watched an interview of one of those people saying, well, I can't go on vacation. I can't do this. I didn't. I was in my 30s.
Right.
I mean, we didn't go on vacation for years. And because you can't afford it, man. You know, but you keep grinding, and you keep hustling, and you keep looking for opportunity to knock. And eventually, you know, it perseveres for the most part, but you got to grind, and sometimes you got to grind for a while, and you got to not stop the grind.
Right.
And you got to try to look to better, constantly look to better yourself. Look for jobs. Go on interviews.
Yep.
You know, try to get your skill set higher than somebody else's.
I've been working since I was 10. I had a paper route. You know what I mean? I started as a young kid. I had a paper route. I wanted a fucking Nintendo game. My parents didn't have the money to buy it. I had a paper route. I was 15. I washed dishes in a bar. You know what I mean? I worked for the borough during the summer. You know, made shit money. I think the minimum wage back then was like $5 or $4.25. But it was great. I busted my ass, and just like you did. And I don't know. It just baffles me. We live in such a sense of entitlement world today. America, it's just, you know, it's not a basic human right to go on vacation.
Right.
It's not a basic human right for you to have all the nice toys. It's not a basic human right, for you to be able to live comfortably. Anybody who lives comfortably nowadays, even the rich fucking 1% CEOs, sure, there's some that the money was handed down to them from family money and this and that. But a lot of them, the majority of them, like someone like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs when he was alive, they were poor motherfuckers, man. They busted their ass. They weren't entitled to anything. I'm not saying that you're going to be the next Bill Gates. I'm just saying, I'm just making an example of people who succeed because they put the work in and not because they were entitled to it. If Bill Gates walked around as an entitled asshole, we freaking wouldn't have wouldn't have Microsoft. He'd be a poor man living, probably protesting for $15 minimum wage outside of McDonald's.
Exactly
that's
right.
That's what he would be doing if he didn't work his ass off.
He was pushing a mop bucket and wants, $15 an hour.
Right. The owner of the UFC, Dana White, he was I think he was like, I don't know, he was working at hotels, a janitor in a hotel or doing something.
He
Or
was like a yoga instructor or some nonsense.
yeah, he was like a boxing yoga instructor or something or whatever it was. Like, he came from nothing. Now, granted, he had some connections.
Yeah.
Kids he graduated school with owned casinos, but it still doesn't mean he didn't work hard for what he has.
No, like look at Conor McGregor. I mean, the guy was in the basement in his parents' house on government assistance,
right?
Like 3 years ago, and now he's walking around cashing fat checks. I mean,
busted his ass.
You got to bust your ass.
Knows how to work, right? It's just I don't know. It's just I don't know. Nobody's entitled to be happy.
There you go. Jesus Christ.
As bad as that sounds.
Excuse me.
No, that's terrible. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Listen, fuck you people. You people out there picketing for $15 an hour. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Moving on. Let me get this back up here. So I'm guessing that you're not going to be out there protesting with these people anytime soon.
No. I'll protest for them to go join the fucking military. Like some countries actually make you do when you graduate high school. They make you join the police force or the military for 2 years.
Real quick, when I was playing the Peaches before.
Yeah.
Fuck the pain away.
Just in case you forgot. I just Googled her, and I didn't realize she's only 46 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and what's making me laugh is that she does all these albums, right? And I'm reading the names of the albums: Fancy Pants, Hoodlum, The Teachers of Peaches, and then it goes to Fatherfucker, Impeach My Bush, I Feel Cream. I'm like, what kind of album titles are happening here? Looking at her first single was called Lover Tits.
Lover Tits.
Shake your dicks. Yeah, these things are hilarious. Anyway, Peaches, check her out. She's a disaster. Absolute fucking disaster. And you look at the photo here, it's like, what is happening? All right. No more ranting about Peaches. No more ranting about $15 an hour. It's time to figure out what's wrong with the world, baby.
What is wrong with the world today? What's wrong with the world today?
What's wrong with the world today? We're not going to do a lot of these. I'll do one right away. Times Square, Cookie Monster. Now, have you seen these guys in Times Square? I've told you about this, right?
I don't know.
Think Square has 1 billion. Which, they had the naked cowboy.
Right.
Now they have all these characters. And there was I think it was like a year ago, where they were making you pay for a photograph. So it's like Superman and the Transformer, anything you can think of, Mario, Luigi. All the costumes are, and they're like these knockoff costumes, and underneath is a bunch of Guatemalans. And they walk around with the head leaning on the back, trying to get some cool air under that thing. And you see the Guatemala women sitting there talking to one another. It's unbelievable. But there was a time last year where I guess Spider-Man got in a fight, punched a tourist for not tipping, and then there was another tourist that I guess, I don't know if it was Batman or somebody did something to the wife, and he beat the shit out of the character. But anyway, you can't walk through Times Square without running into the Minions and all these things. So I'm looking at this here, and it's just another costume character was arrested in Times Square. And there you are. They're getting arrested because they're wackadoos. Police arrested a man dressed as Cookie Monster after he groped a 16-year-old Sunday. NYPD said they arrested Ranulfo Perez. What did I say? Guatemalan, 48, after he pulled the victim into a hug and started touching her breast.
What the fuck?
While dressed as Sesame Street's resident chocolate chip cookie addict. The girl was part of a tour group walking outside of the Toys R Us in Times Square. He's charged with forcibly touching in a manner injuring a child less than 17 years in a second-degree harassment. Although Times Square has cleaned up from its lean, mean years of debauchery, it suffered a recent spate in criminal behavior from these costume characters. I mean, these characters are unbelievable. And all they want, they demand money from witless tourists in exchange for photos. It even says in here, they arrested more than 18 performers last year, including multiple Elmos, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the street-brawling Batman, who kept getting his ass kicked. And what it is, you take a photo, and then they get pissed if you don't like give them tip money.
Right.
Crazy, man. Start like chili whipping you, man. To me, they're all assholes.
Yeah, disaster.
And I have a video too. I'll have to see if I can. I don't even know if I still have it. That I sent to our pals, some of my Kodo pals, Big Jack and Chuck and Sarah out in California, because they've never been. I mean, Chuck's been here, but they've never been, and they're from like the country or the West Coast, and they've never been to Times Square. So I'm walking through Times Square, and I'm just pointing the camera in the face of these characters, going, "Mess, fucking disaster. You should kill your guidance counselor." It's amazing. There's so many of them, man. They just drive me nuts.
Right.
Anyway, speaking of more of New York, New York's Museum of Sex mounts very explicit exhibits. You saw this picture of like the 3 elk banging?
I did. It's amazing.
It's unbelievable. Visitors step into the stairs of the first floor to see a larger-than-life video loop of Linda Lovelace performing oral. That's what you walk into at the museum. There's a fun and frolicking tunnel of the Love G-Spot mirror maze. This is a real museum, you know. It's big. Right in New York.
Yeah.
We should go there with, like, GoPros.
That'd be amazing.
Right? And you got to put a picture up of these 3, like, deer bang. It's like a threesome with deer.
Yeah, I'll put it in the episode cover so everybody can see it.
It's unbelievable. So if you're ever in New York and you never checked out the Museum of Sex, you haven't lived. 2 other quick stories I want to talk about. This baggage handler, I don't know if you saw this, trapped in Alaska airline cargo hold. You know that, right? Like the plane, he was putting the bags in there, and next thing you know, he's dialing 911. He's on a plane without a ticket. Baggage handler fell asleep. Believe this shit? That's another guy probably wants $15 an hour. Can't fucking stay awake. And he called 911 because the plane's taking off. I'm inside the plane. I feel like it's moving. It's in the air on flight 448. Can somebody please help stop it?
Jesus.
And the person said, "You're where? You're where? Where are you in a plane?" And he said, what the fuck did he say here? The worker repeatedly said it over and over again. "Are you at the airport?" The worker tried one more time to explain and then hung up. He was trying to tell them, they weren't listening, that I'm stuck inside the cargo hold. What does it say? The employees, they contacted baggage claim, yada, yada, yada. It was bound for Los Angeles. Pilots quickly returned to Seattle. Yeah, the plane was in the air 14 minutes with this clown stuck in this inside sleeping, supposedly putting your bags in there, and it had to turn around and land.
Jesus.
I would have whooped your ass if I was trying to do something.
Right.
Yeah, so if I was doing something that I'm going to be late for, somebody dying.
Right.
That guy should have just died, because I don't have time for your nonsense. He probably still wants $15 an hour.
Yep.
Anyway, and the last one, and you know we always save these, but this was sent by, I believe McGaver sent this to us, and we have to talk about it. Now, I'm not talking about I'll briefly mention the mom who had the sex party.
Right.
You saw that, right?
Stirs.
Playing Naked Twister, and then she was banging the daughter's 18-year-old boyfriend.
Crazy.
Because she was still horny. And the best is Ninja Turtle saying, "Where are these moms in Connecticut when I need them?" But I mean, I know that she was an alcoholic, and I know she was telling her sponsor. I mean, but how hammered you got to be doing boogie nights with a bunch of teenagers? Seriously, I mean, I was destroyed yesterday, and I never thought for 3 seconds, man, I wish I was in a room full of teenagers.
Right. No, agreed. Like I think that's beyond alcoholism. I think she's just fucked up, more, and some other facet. Because, agreed, like I could be hammered. Like the night that we were all here, I was drunk, and when I got home that night, the last thing I thought about was, I wish there was a bunch of young teenagers here so I could play Naked Twister with them.
Right.
That doesn't come into my head, ever. Ever. Well, at least not the teenager part.
Oh, boy. Anyway. So the last story, of course, has to do with one of our favorite states, Florida.
Down to Florida, we welcome you to the Sunshine State. They're kicking back and soaking up the rays every day in Florida.
I love that damn song.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good. Anyway, down in Florida, you know what happened to this guy? You saw the article.
What's that?
God accused of attacking cop, having sex with a tree.
God was one of us, just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on the bus.
Trying to fuck a tree. A man in Melbourne, Florida, was high on a synthetic drug. He is accused of attacking a police officer and repeatedly declaring himself to be God after having sex with a tree. Kenneth Crowder, 41, arrested Friday after witnesses reported a naked man running through their neighborhood and performing a sexual act on a tree. An officer found this guy, Kenneth Crowder, 41, wearing blue jeans, T-shirt. According to officials, the responding officer said he walked towards them aggressively, identified himself as God, punched the cop, tried to stab him with his officer's own badge, and they punched Crowder. The suspect referred to himself as Thor at that point. I love Florida.
Was this the one where the guy was on the drug called Flacca?
Yeah.
Waka Flocka. Isn't fucking that a rapper?
Flocka, flocka, flocka. Isn't that what Fozzie the Bear says? I don't understand any of this stuff. Salts and all these knuckleheads taking these drugs, chewing faces. This guy thinks he's God and Thor, and he's making love to a tree hole, getting sap all over his ding-ding.
Yeah. And he loves life. He's just loving it.
I guess so. I mean, I'd be loving life, too, if I was just making love to trees.
And just like snorting Flocka and sticking my dick in sap holes.
Amazing. Just putting your wood in the wood.
Why do we even work, Mike?
I have no idea. I wonder if he gets $15 an hour for being God.
He probably does. And if not, all he's got to do is protest it, and he'll probably end up getting it.
Exactly right.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Anyway, let's wrap it up. I'm hurting.
Yeah. We'll let you go.
Make sure you tune in to us every week. Follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, all that stuff. Just go to theothermikes.com and like all of our stuff.
Yeah, all of our social medias out there, and also go out, and if you're into it, go out and check out our sponsor at adultworldx.com, and at checkout, use the code word DIPIT, and you'll get 15% off your any item or purchase.
Need a flashlight, DIPIT. Listen, they're coming to arrest me. Do you hear this?
No.
God damn, cops everywhere. DIPIT, adultworldx.com. Check it out. Go buy yourself some nice toys, or maybe they even have something to. They have like a weed whacker. So if you're making friends with a tree,
they got tons of stuff out there, and anything to spice up your relationship, or if you just want to spice up yourself
or the tree. If you're with the tree and you want to spruce up the tree, maybe they have something there as well.
They got some lube. If the tree's tough, if the tree's not wet, if the tree has no sap,
dude, that's getting syrup the hard way. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that is the hard way.
It's funny. I got these. My wife found my old albums. The albums that I made.
Like vinyls.
In my youth. No, like my band. Like, here's a little excerpt of. Let me see if I can get this to play. My luck now, it won't fucking play. Just to give you an idea, I'll move up here. Jane says.
She hides and finds her dinner there. She pulls her dinner from her pocket. Jane says, I've never been in love.
My thought was, until I go through some of these, I would play some of these tracks on the way out, like one track a show.
Right.
Just to give people, especially people in my inner circle that have never heard before, reason to mock me.
I think I saw her post pictures.
Yeah.
She found it at like her dad's or something, right?
Exactly.
Or your...
No, her dad's. Yeah, clean up the apartment.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over some of these here, like Rubber on My Ducky. I could play that. Started with Little Kiss was a good one. What else is on here? Frustration's a good one, too. Maybe I'll play Rubber on My Ducky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll play that. And when they're saying C note back and forth, that was my nickname back in the day. But for everybody out there, it's Rubber on My Ducky, a band I was in called Gotham City Swing back from the late 90s, early 2000s. But until next week, I'm Mike W.
And I'm Mike T.
Make sure you go to PetX.com and dip it. Bitches.
Cigarettes are my way. I'm gonna get in my car and then I'll drive real far. Let's go. I gotta act like a star when I peruse a young lady sitting down at the bar. Come on. What do you say? Swing time. Sounds okay. Let's go. I'm ready to play. I put a rubber on my ducky and I'm on my way. Quack, quack. Cigarettes are my way. I'm gonna get in my car and then I'll drive real far. Let's go. I gotta act like a star when I peruse a young lady sitting down at the bar. Come on. I'm ready to play. Let's go. Yeah, it sounds okay. I put a rubber on my ducky and I'm on my way. Quack. Hey, Daisy, next time wax your feathers down there.